The Chicago White Sox lost to the Kansas City Royals on Thursday afternoon and lost the series, dropping 3 of 4 in Kansas City. Tell me if this rings a bell. White Sox starter has a brilliant outing, but the offense can't provide any run support. Yeah, it happened once again. This time, Dylan Cease had to suffer. Where's the fire? Where's the swagger? Where's the hustle? The Chicago White Sox are back at 500 and now 3.5 games back in the AL Central.
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Locked On White Sox. Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. Bet Online, where the game starts. Hey, I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong diehard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Really appreciate you letting me steal some of your time to talk White Sox, especially after this Kansas City series. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The White Sox don't deserve Dylan Cease, but while he's on the team, just appreciate him because he has been a lone bright spot. The White Sox let a 38-year-old Zack Greinke work his smoke and mirror tricks without any serious pushback. But first, can the White Sox find the will to win? Our Chicago White Sox are back at 556-56. They are 3.5 games back in the AL Central, chasing the Cleveland Guardians now. There are 50 games left in the season. Thursday's series finale was ugly. It was pathetic. White Sox lost to the Royals 5-3. Sox lost 3 of 4 in Kansas City. The White Sox are 7-8 against the Royals this season. If you thought Wednesday was bad, Thursday might have been worse. And the sad thing is that solid outings from Johnny Cueto and Dylan Cease were completely wasted in back-to-back games. Where is the intensity? Where's the fire? Where's the swagger? Will someone, anyone, be held accountable? Let's go back to October 29th, 2020. Hall of Famer Tony La Russa, 76 years old, hired as Chicago White Sox manager. That's right. That date will be talked about, will be thought about for many years to come, I believe. He had a lot of things to say in that press conference, but 2 short sentences that you've got to bring up here. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Where is that fire? Where is that swagger? Lots of discussion about those 2 words during the last few weeks. GM Rick Hahn has brought it up. Players have brought it up. Johnny Cueto was the latest to question what the team has left in the tank. Fans are constantly asking, how are Tony La Russa and Frank Menechino still employed? How does Rick Hahn still have a job? Why is Kenny Williams still doing whatever he is actually doing? We've seen what other MLB organizations have done when their teams have not lived up to expectations. And despite all the disappointment and underperforming, the White Sox organization has refused to do a thing. It's Jerry's world, and it all starts there. So when one of the best pitchers on the team talks about a lack of fire, the manager, the supposed leader, Tony La Russa, decides to call those comments into question instead of validating them. The optics are not good with this team, and the results are even worse. The advertisements for the 2023 season tickets are tough to take in as they are blasted during telecasts. Are you still watching? Will you still be watching? You'll be at any of the games this weekend as the Sox take on the last place Tigers? Wow, lot to unpack here. Before the game, some interesting quotes from Johnny Cueto. This, of course, came after Wednesday's loss. Johnny Cueto was on the Hill. And this is what Cueto had to say. He said a lot of things, but here are some key moments. We need to be more aggressive, show more swagger, said right-hander Johnny Cueto, who allowed 3 runs, only 2 earned in his latest quality start, which was his 13th quality start of the season. We can't get comfortable. We need to go out and play hard and show what we can do. We need to fight. We need to show the fire that we have, if we have any. And Tony La Russa was made aware of these comments, and he had a chance to respond Thursday morning. And this is what he had to say before the game. I think it's a curious statement. It's better to be discussed within the family. If there's a problem, straighten it out. I heard that he said that I was surprised he said that. His opinion is welcome, and it also carries weight. The guy is experienced. I'll ask him about it. Tony La Russa was asked why he was surprised by what Cueto said. Here was his careful response. I'm not sure how to answer that without my answer. He's a veteran. We all respect him, and he's someone to listen to, but it's surprising for. Usually that's better said in the clubhouse in front of your teammates. It just absolutely sounds like Tony La Russa is the last guy to know what is going on. He thinks it's a different era. He's definitely managing that way. Issues are not kept within the clubhouse in 2022. It hasn't been that way for a while with social media. And Ozzie Guillen said it best in the postgame. Guillen said it's not 1980 anymore. The offense was offensive, and the White Sox ability to hustle was in question in a major way by none other than Steve Stone. More on that in a moment. Did you know the key to sustainable weight loss is through your liver? The liver is the body's metabolic furnace. It's responsible for flushing out harmful toxins and igniting your fat-burning metabolism. But thanks to modern diets rich in unhealthy processed foods and constant exposure to thousands of man-made and environmental toxins, most of us have overworked livers. But now it's easy to rejuvenate your liver health and reignite your metabolism thanks to Liver Health Formula by Pure Health Research. Liver Health Formula contains 8 liver-boosting super nutrients, all of which work together to wake up a sluggish liver and turn it into a toxin-flushing and fat-burning machine. No more bloated belly, no more uncomfortable digestion, no more feeling tired and low on energy all the time. And best of all, Liver Health Formula makes it easier to maintain a healthy body weight long term. As a listener of this podcast, you can try Liver Health Formula risk-free today and get a free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Curb Fit is a safe and all-natural appetite suppressant, making it easy to say no to naughty foods. This makes it the perfect complement to Liver Health Formula. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB to learn more. Again, that's getliverhelp.com/MLB to try Liver Health Formula completely risk-free and claim your free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB now to get started. All right, how about that White Sox offense? Boy, 38-year-old Zack Greinke was on the hill for the Kansas City Royals. In a way, it was it looked like it was the way hitters attack or have to approach a position player when they get in to pitch. A lot of off-speed junk, I feel like you've got to wait back and then let it rip. Maybe it's almost like facing a knuckleballer. I mean, he had a cutter working at 86. There was a changeup in the mid 80s, and Greinke's fastball is around 89, 90 miles per hour. But boy, did he fool our Chicago White Sox. Second inning, let's start there. Yasmani Grandal led off with an opposite field base hit. Moncada followed suit. So you got 2 on, nobody out. Harrison can't get the job done. Greinke again throwing 89, 90 miles per hour. Sosa grounds into a double play. What new there? Sox love hitting into those double plays. Third inning, Sebi Zavala gets on with a single to lead things off. Robert with a single up the middle. First 2 on, nobody out. Andrew Vaughn with a base hit. Down the line, Zavala with a base running miscue only makes it to third. So you've got bases loaded, nobody out. Eloy Jimenez strikes out. Abreu strikes out. Yaz worked the count full, then grounded out to the shortstop. Absolutely maddening, but that is the way of the 2022 White Sox. Top of the fifth, Dylan Cease just pitched out of a self-made jam, struck out the side. Can the White Sox show some life and get a run or two for their ace? Greinke is just absolutely rocking the Sox to sleep at this point, and the Sox go down in order. Sixth inning, Eloy Jimenez leads things off with a single. 0 extra base hits by the Sox up to this point. Grandal with a single to right field. Eloy was able to make it to third. Runners on the corners, only 1 out. Huge opportunity for Yoan Moncada. He strikes out. No surprise there, unfortunately. Harrison flew out. Sox failed once again. Let's go to the seventh. 1 out, man on second. Robert hit a grounder to second base. He does not run hard out of the box. Second baseman bobbles it and throws out Robert. If Luis Robert is hustling all the way completely through the bag, he is safe on that play. Steve Stone was all over it on the telecast, eventually saying hustling might be optional on this team. If Robert isn't held accountable somehow, some way, I mean, that is really a gut punch, another gut punch to what is going on with this organization. If Tony La Russa really wants to set the tone, he sits Luis Robert, and I don't know what, maybe there's a discussion that happened. I know he's valuable, but a message might need to be sent. That was ridiculous. And for Steve Stone to find it, notice it, and call it out, that was great. Eighth inning with a man on, Yasmani Grandal hit his first home run since May 16th. It was the first extra base hit of the day for the White Sox, and the deficit was cut in half, 4-2 Royals. Later in the inning, Gavin Sheets was up with runners on second and first with 2 outs. Another classic opposite field doink for Sheets. Shortstop kept it out of the left field, so bases are loaded for Robert. He flies out and ends the threat. Ninth inning, Andrew Vaughn led off with a solo home run, made it 5-3, but too little too late. White Sox offense, 3 runs, 14 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Of the 14 hits, only 2 extra base hits, and that was a Grandal home run and an Andrew Vaughn home run. With runners in scoring position, our Chicago White Sox, 2 for 13 on the day. They left 11 men on base. Wow, absolutely ugly, but that is the way things have been going for the Chicago White Sox. When will somebody be held accountable? Is it Frank Menechino? Do they need to bench some guys? I get every game is important right now and you need your best players, but boy, it just doesn't seem like there are any checks and balances. Dylan Cease continues to do things on the mound that have not been seen in a long, long time. I'm going to tell you why Cease strengthened his bid for the Cy Young. More on that in a moment. At BlueNile.com, you can celebrate all of life's special moments, from creating the custom engagement ring of her dreams to gifting a classic and timeless jewelry piece. all at prices you won't find at a traditional jeweler. Whether you're customizing an engagement ring or designing diamond stud earrings, online jeweler Blue Nile will allow you to create a bigger, more brilliant piece than you can imagine at a price you won't find at a traditional jeweler. Blue Nile has simple online tools that let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her perfect engagement ring. Each ring is one of a kind. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And going on now is the Blue Nile Anniversary Sale. Save up to 40% on classic fine jewelry pieces and 25% on engagement ring settings. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your betting needs. Find all your favorite sports and events at the #1 online source for odds, lines, and games. Find reviews and news of every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering information. From live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts, they have you covered. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts. Our White Sox starter, Dylan Cease, he was brilliant once again. You know the numbers on Cease. He is not only one of the best pitchers in the American League, but in all of baseball. He's starting to get some national attention, and he continues to deal. First inning, just 12 pitches in that inning, no damage done. Second inning was really the only mistake for Dylan Cease. Pasquantino, who continued his onslaught against the White Sox, he went down and took a breaking ball over the right field fence. It was a solo home run, making it 1-0 Kansas City. No other problems in that inning. Third inning, Dylan Cease, very sharp, had a 1-2-3. Fourth, Pasquantino came up again with a man on and one out. Cease did not get the call on a borderline 3-2 pitch, and Pasquantino walked. So you got Royals on had runners at second and first with one out. Dylan Cease ends up striking out the side. Every Sox fan at this point, I know I was, yelling at their TV, go get some runs for this man. It just wasn't meant to be. Fifth inning, Cease struck out the side again. The Sox, they just don't deserve this guy. Cease's final line, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 1.98. He threw 94 pitches. Since May 29th, which right around Memorial Day, that's 13 starts for Dylan Cease. That's 76 innings in those starts, 95 strikeouts in those 76 innings. Opponents have been hitting 174 in that span, and Cease has an ERA of 0.59 during those 13 starts. Mercy. Seventh inning, Joe Kelly comes in. He could not finish the inning. La Russa came to get him. Trainers came out wondering if maybe he hurt his arm again. Turned out he had to leave because of lightheadedness. There were a couple men left on for Jose Ruiz, who came in. Kansas City with a big hit with runners on base. What a concept there. 2-run score. It's 3-0 Kansas City. Royals added another one to make it 4-0 in the 7th. It might as well be 10-0 Kansas City. 8th inning, Foster gave up a run to make it 5-2. White Sox just completely flat. Bullpen not helping either. But when you have to be so specific and so fine because your offense is completely anemic, I feel like you're trying to be too perfect, and sometimes you miss your spot. And when there's zero margin of error, that is a major problem. So Sox 556-56. There are 50 games left. The crazy thing is that this division is still winnable, and they're going to continue to talk about it in the telecasts and on the pre and post game. we're only X amount of games behind Minnesota and Cleveland. There's still more to play with them. It's possible, but I'm wondering, if we really can't, if we can't take care of business against Detroit, then you've got Houston coming to town next week, and that could bury us. That could really bury the White Sox. But first things first, this weekend, White Sox begin a 3-game series starting Friday night against the last place Detroit Tigers. I don't even know if that matters because the White Sox, they're just winding down this 19-game stretch of playing teams with a sub 500 record. Okay, there's 3 games remaining. Sox right now are 8-8 during this 19-game stretch. So Tigers come into this series 43-70. Here are the projected starters for the White Sox. You got Kopech on Friday, Giolito on Saturday, and Lance Lynn on Sunday. Speaking of Lance Lynn, Saturday, it's that last bobblehead giveaway of the season. If my memory serves me correct, first 20,000 will get a Lance Lynn bobblehead on Saturday. Folks, thank you so much for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast absolutely everywhere you find your podcasts. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, and unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Follow the #1 daily league-wide podcast, Locked On MLB, on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up on the next episode, I'll recap the Detroit series and hopefully be celebrating a White Sox sweep. Hey, I appreciate you making time for the Locked On White Sox podcast. I'm Nick Morawski, and until next time, go Sox.